Book of Heaven, Volume 25, December 21st, 1928. Sea of Love in the Excesses of Jesus. Example of the sea. The divine will, solar ray which brings the life of heaven. The divine will operating. Happiness of Jesus. The novena of Holy Christmas continues, and continuing to hear the 9 excesses of the Incarnation, my beloved Jesus drew me to himself and showed me how each excess of his love was a sea without boundaries. And in this sea, gigantic waves rose, in which one could see all souls flowing, devoured by these flames. Just as the fish flow in the waters of the sea, and the waters of the sea form the life of the fish, the guide, the defense, the food, the bed, the palace of these fish, so much so that if they get out of the sea, they can say, "Our life is ended, because we have gone out of our inheritance, the fatherland given to us by our Creator." In the same way, these gigantic waves of flames which rose from these seas of fire, by devouring the creatures, wanted to be the life, the guide, the defense, the food, the bed, the palace, the fatherland of creatures. But as they go out of this sea of love, all of a sudden they find death. And little baby Jesus cries, moans, prays, shouts, and sighs, for he wants no one to go out of these devouring flames of his, because he does not want to see anyone die. Oh, if the sea had reason, more than tender mother, it would sadly cry over its fish which are snatched away from its sea, because it feels a life which it possesses and preserves with so much love, being snatched away from itself. And with its waves, it would hurl itself at those who dared to snatch away from it so many lives which it possesses, and which form its richness, its glory. And if the sea does not cry, I cry, Jesus says, in seeing that, while my love has devoured all creatures, ungrateful, they do not want to live life in my sea of love, but tearing themselves away from my flames, they exile themselves from my fatherland, losing the palace, the guide, the defense, the food, the bed, and even the life. How can I not cry? They came out of me. They were created by me and were devoured by my flames of love which I had in incarnating myself for love of all creatures. As I hear the 9 excesses being narrated to me, the sea of my love swells, it boils, and forming huge waves, it roars so much that it would want to deafen everyone, that they might hear nothing but my moans of love, my cries of sorrow, my repeated sobs, saying, "Don't make me cry any more. Let us exchange the kiss of peace. Let us love each other, and we will all be happy, the Creator and the creature." Jesus kept silent, and at that moment I saw the heavens opened and a ray of light descend from above, which, fixing itself upon me, illuminated those who were around me. And my always lovable Jesus resumed his speaking.
"Daughter of my will, this solar ray that fixed itself upon you is my divine will, which brings you the life of heaven into your soul. How beautiful is this solar ray, which not only illuminates you and brings you its life, but whoever draws near you and remains around feels the life of light, because like sun, it expands around and gives to those who surround you the warm kiss of light, of its breath, of its life. And I feel happy within you in seeing that my divine will diffuses and begins to beat its way. See, the seas of love that you saw are nothing other than my will operating. When my will wants to operate, the seas of my love swell, boil, form their gigantic waves which cry, moan, shout, pray, deafen. On the other hand, when my fiat does not want to operate, the sea of my love is calm, it only murmurs quietly, its course of joy and of happiness, inseparable from it, is continuous. Therefore you cannot comprehend the joy I experience, the happiness I feel, and the interest I take in illuminating, in offering my very word, my very heart, to one who occupies himself with making my divine will known. My interest is so great that I envelop him within myself, and I myself overflowing outside of him, I take the floor, and I myself speak about my will operating in my love. Do you think that it is your confessor that speaks? In these evenings, in which he is speaking in public about the 9 excesses of my love, it is I who take his heart in my hands and make him speak.
But while he was saying this, benediction was being given, and Jesus added,
Daughter, I bless you. Everything is happiness for me when it comes to doing an act of mine over one who possesses my divine will. Because if I bless you, my blessing finds the space in which to place the goods and the effects which my blessing contains. If I love you, my love finds in my fiat, within you, the space in which to place itself and carry out its life of love. Therefore, each thing I do over you, in you and with you, is a happiness that I feel, because I know that a divine will has the place for everything I want to give you, and the virtue of multiplying the goods I give you, because it is our all-doer, and it occupies itself with forming as many lives for as many acts as we do with the creature in whom it reigns.
After this, I was doing my round in the divine fiat and was going again to the first times of creation to unite myself to the acts done by our father Adam in the state of innocence, so as to unite myself with him and continue from where he left. And my beloved Jesus, moving in my interior, told me,
My daughter, in creating man, I gave a visible universe in which he was to move freely and see the works of his Creator, done with so much order and harmony, done for love of him, and in this void to also do his own works. And just as I gave a visible void, so I gave an invisible void, even more beautiful, for his soul, in which man was to form his holy works, his sun, his heavens, his stars, and echoing his Creator, he was to fill this void with all his works. But since man descended from my divine will to live in his own, he lost the echo of his Creator and the model with which to be able to copy our works. Therefore, it can be said that in this void there is nothing other than the first steps of man. All the rest is empty. Yet it must be filled. And this is why I await with so much love those who live and must live in my will, who, feeling the power of our echo and having our models present to them, will hasten to fill this invisible void which I gave with so much love in creation. But do you know what this void is? It is our will. Just as I gave a heaven, a sun, to man's nature, so I gave the heaven, the sun of my fiat, to his soul. And when I see you take your steps after the steps of Adam innocent, I say, finally, here is the void of my divine will that begins to receive the first conquests and the first works of the creature. Therefore, be attentive and continue always your flight in my divine volition.